Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Can USA overtake Canada and get that gold, Joe?
Absolutely, they can here. And ultimately, it feels like that is the two-horse race. And I think ultimately, Canadians don't really care if their team competes in the luge or the bobsled, Donnie, or anything else. They just want that gold when it comes to ice hockey. And that is the only thing that's going to matter there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying
Right?
that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on Kraft.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
But I will say, at 4.5 and over, I've been with covers for 20 plus years now, I've been betting for a long time. When it comes to 4 and 4.5 point spreads, if I'm looking at the favorite, I do not lay the points. I go straight to the money line, knowing that it's minus 200. This has been a no man's land for football betting in the NFL, basically since 2015, since they moved the point after touchdown back.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Time for the Early Line. It's a Thursday morning right here on the SportsGrid Network. I'm Donnie Rightside. He's Joe Ranieri. You know the drill. The next 2 hours, we got you covered on all the hottest topics. That includes NBA All-Star Weekend this weekend coming up, a huge NBA card and how it transpired yesterday, college basketball in focus, and also more talk about pitchers and catchers as each team starts to arrive to their training facilities here for spring training, the WBC, and away we go. So many fun things to talk about today and hot topics all the way around. It's just how we do business right here. It's the Early Line. It's time, as we said, to rise and grind, Joe. How about it?
I can't wait, Donnie. The sooner the NBA hurries up and goes on vacation, which many teams have already done, the better it's going to be for everybody here, Donnie.
It certainly will be, like the Philadelphia 76ers as favorites yesterday morning, closes underdogs. Why? Because Joel Embiid decided to sit out while the New York Knicks played their full team. Those are my hot topics. Now I need Joe's hot topic of the day.
Well, Donnie, you know, it didn't take long because, as it turns out, the Las Vegas Raiders have officially now turned into a must-watch reality TV show, and the season hasn't even started yet, Donnie. And I'm talking about new head coach Clint Kubiak, who just the other day faced the media as a introduction to, well, him being the new head coach. Now, keep in mind, this guy comes from NFL royalty, right? He's a Kubiak. The coaching tree is long. He just won the Super Bowl as the Seahawks offensive coordinator. He should be the most confident guy in the room. Well, what was his main selling point for taking the job, you ask? Well, the answer's simple. It was Tom Brady. He literally told all of us that working with Brady was a, quote, major reason he came to Vegas. He joked that Brady made the mistake of giving him his cell number and that he plans to call him a lot. What? You're the head coach of an NFL franchise. You're not an intern asking for an autograph. You have the #1 overall pick in the draft. You have a roster to fix. And your strategy here is to call the minority owner who currently also is the lead analyst for Fox. Let's think about the optics here. Tom Brady spends his Sundays in production meetings getting secrets from, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos. He does that for his TV gig, and now Clint Kubiak has the bat phone directly to him. Nobody cared last year about any of this because the Raiders were 4-13. Players literally said, who cares if he shares the info? They suck anyway. But if Kubiak actually starts winning games, that collaboration is going to become a massive league-wide issue. And let's not forget the locker room. Does Kubiak realize that his franchise leading pass rusher wants out? And why? Well, partly because Brady brought in his guru, Alex Guerrero, into the building. The players are already side-eyeing this Brady influence, and now the new coach says he's going to be Brady's best friend. That is how you lose a locker room before you even blow the first whistle in practice. Clint Kubiak thinks he's got a secret weapon. I think he just signed up to be the puppet in a very expensive circus. A first-time head coach, a crazy owner in Mark Davis, and an overbearing partial owner wearing a headset in the booth. Good luck. Get your popcorn ready because the Raiders train wreck is leaving the station. And guess who's leading the locomotive there, Donnie? That's correct. Tom Brady.
Come on, Joe. The last 25 years, the Raiders are about excellence and just win, baby. Well, maybe they should change it to just lose, baby, at this point, because they're one of the worst run franchises. But as we talked about yesterday, Joe, it doesn't matter. Let me bring Brady in. More eyeballs on us. Let me bring this in. Let's go to Las Vegas. Everything will be great. We'll make so much money, and we'll still have that old Raiders organization as we have no idea what the hell we are doing, and that should continue here, even with the #1 overall pick here in 2026. Great topic here to start out the day, getting caffeinated. Let's get to the early lineup and some more of those hot topics, which just seems like in the NBA, I don't know, maybe they do play too many games. Cooper Flagg, one of those bright additions to the Dallas Mavericks. He's down now with a sprained foot, and he's going to miss those all-star festivities.
Yeah, great for the NBA. You know, the NBA deserves all the misery it has coming its way this weekend, Donnie. And the misery is going to be absolutely nobody interested in watching anything that they are going to deliver to us.
And by the way, I'm always a big fan of like you look good, play good here. Put that picture back up of Cooper Flagg. Here's what I need from this too. Shave the mustache, get a shorter haircut, and shave the actual goatee there. Let's get a new look for Cooper Flagg here to ring in 2026, and maybe he can stay healthy at this point. We'll keep it moving with FanDuel. I don't even know this was an option that you can actually deposit on your credit card. I thought this was like 2002 where you had to go offshore and use your credit card at that point and try to hide it from the bank here. And also understand this, reading into it, did you know also, Joe, a lot of banks take that as a cash advance, which double bangs you on interest just to let you deposit with a sports book where probably in a week, you're going to have to re-up again. My goodness, man.
Yeah, well, and you know, once Congress gets involved and starts requesting information about, and they are, Donnie, anybody's ever seen them, abusive credit card betting fees that rip off you and I on these sports betting platforms, we've seen it, and it looks like now FanDuel and DraftKings are just going, yeah, enough. It's just too expensive to actually take the credit cards because they're getting banged too.
Let me tell you something. From being in the food industry for so many times, if you are somebody, you always tell your kids, like, grow up and, like, throw a baseball left-handed or dribble a basketball and get out there and get me a scholarship. Grow your kids here and teach them. Go into the credit card industry and be a service provider where you say, wait a second. American Express, I just had to pay as an owner here $20 for this order, and the person who pays for American Express pays into that, and it all goes to the credit card fees here. That's the business to be in, the credit card service providers. That's how you get rich at this point. How about the NBA? Nobody getting rich here from a fight. They're all getting suspended. Stewart, Duran, Bridges, Diabate, suspended from Monday's brawl.
Yeah, both centers from Detroit suspended, and didn't much matter because Toronto was already on vacation last night as well. So, although I do think there could be a little lenient here, I think a couple more people could have received some punishment, but ultimately they went with the 4, and that's it. Charlotte and Detroit, by the way, both ended up winning last night, even with those suspensions.
Some people say, damn it. I say, ham it. Yeah, the ham it bone here, keeping Francisco Lindor out for 6 weeks as he opts for surgery. Probably going to miss opening day for the Metropolitans.
Yeah, him, Corbin Carroll. I mean, the list goes on here. Like, what is a hamate bone, and why is it all of a sudden being such a problem here? It's kind of crazy. There's a whole bunch of these guys now that are going to miss the start of the season because of this issue. And apparently it doesn't heal overnight. So good luck with that. Let's see how that works out.
Yep, got to get your ramp up in. How about Syracuse University? Their AD's like, yeah, I'm out of here, and rightfully so. That used to be a once proud school. Great football, great basketball. Now, bad basketball, bad football. The AD's got to go.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. A lot of changes coming to Syracuse athletics in the very near future, especially its basketball team.
Joe, Lindsey Vaughn, third surgery since her crash here. My goodness, man. Retire in peace and quiet and just sit back and relax, Lindsey.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation all the way around, Donnie. I mean, she's trying to, do it for the last time, medal last time, and now she's in a hospital bed with a third surgery on her leg. The whole situation is just awful.
How about Casey Wasserman? He's still going to work the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, despite having ties to Epstein in the latest reports going back to 2003 with flirtatious emails back and forth to Ghislaine Maxwell. What's up with that?
Listen, I can't think of anything more corrupt than the Olympics to begin with, Donnie. So the fact that it's being filled, positions are being filled with some of the most corrupt people, not a shock, Donnie. Least shocking thing I'll hear all day.
Now, did he take the mic like the Wolf of Wall Street? Like, I'm not going anywhere here at this point. I mean, look, sometimes you just don't want bad optics on big events, and we're already asking for the bad optics on the big events. Would it be easy? Just step away, replace him there, and just get out from under this. Now, look, that's 2028. 2 more years to hear about this as well. Good luck on that. We'll be right back here with the Spreadlines coming up next on the early line.
Aaron Judge, no stranger to hitting 60 home runs in a season, but we certainly aren't going to put a FanDuel win total or even DraftKings at 60. So Sam, our producer, set it at 55. Aaron Judge will hit 55-plus home runs this year. You going to buy or sell?
All right, Aaron Rodgers here.
Oh, there
Aaron,
he is.
What do you think? What do you think, Aaron? Can you hit 55? Aaron Judge, right? Got it in my head here. 55 is asking a lot, Sam. It's asking a lot. He hit 53 last year, 58 the year before, 37, but that was the year he hurt his toe in Dodger Stadium, and then, of course, 62. I got to sell this. All right, you're asking for just to be 7 home runs off the record? I mean, no, he can't keep doing this every year here. Plus, he does have an injury history there. Over the last 2 years, he's been completely healthy. I'll just say no. Between possibility of an injury, teams waking up going, nope, not pitching to him. I'll take the under here. Although, as a Yankee fan, he better, because if he don't, Yankees gonna be in a lot of trouble.
So I've decided to go by the letter of the law. Sam is not going to like this. Sam is not going to like my answer. Yep. Sam, listen. Sam leaves these little loopholes in the buy or sell. 55 home runs between 55 plus the regular season, postseason, World Baseball Classic. Buy. Spring training. Buy. Above 55 between spring training, World Baseball Classic, regular season, and postseason. Aaron Judge will hit 55 home runs.
He didn't say this season.
He didn't say this season. He said this year. The graphic says this year.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
Oh, those top spread lines you need to know on a Thursday. We handle our business right here on the early line. Come on, we do it every single morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, live 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. Your boy Donnie Rightside and Joe Ranieri, and it doesn't stop tonight. Big-time college basketball card. You say sometimes like, well, wait a second, who are we going to talk about tonight? Arizona, Duke? No. Come on, man. Let's start. Northern Iowa and Belmont is the place to be tonight. This game, Joe, going to take place as a 5.5-point favorite at home for Belmont and a total of 137.5. We love to talk about matchups. How about the most efficient offense in conference play is Belmont? How about the most efficient defense in conference play is Northern Iowa. How about the team with the best effective field goal percentage on offense? That's Belmont. How about the number one most effective field goal percentage on defense? That is NIU. And also the best three-point shooting team in conference, going up against the best defense from the three-point line in conference. Joe, the spread line tonight, Northern Iowa versus Belmont, offense versus defense.
Yeah, the Mo Valley has long been one of the more competitive conferences on the mid-major level. And on a Thursday, it's all about the mid-majors here, Donnie. And you nailed it, right? The number one defense in the conference versus the number one offense. Now, we told you about Belmont last week going up against Bradley in their last game, and Belmont lost on the road to Bradley after beating them by double digits the first go-around. They ended up losing last game, and Belmont doesn't lose very often, so it's a bounce-back spot for them at home. This opened up at 6 last night, Donnie. We're seeing 5.5s, 5s, even a random 4.5, so apparently, the market believes defense is in order here tonight, and don't believe that Belmont can run away with this game by more than a bucket. I doubt that's going to happen. I think Belmont, 3 is more than 2, Donnie, and nobody shoots the threes better than Belmont.
No, they don't. Line them up, knock them down. We'll see if that takes place tonight. How about let's go over to the CAA, Hofstra and the College of Charleston tonight. Slight favor for Hofstra on the road, Joe, -1.5 depending where he's shopping at. And then also a dog price at 1.5 depending where he's shopping at. So some interesting betting patterns setting up for this one. And a total of 147.5. The one thing I like about Hofstra, the best team in conference play on offense. Yep. They're number one in efficiency here. They shoot the three-point shot. They're extremely good at the free throw line. And also, Joe, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in conference play. I haven't bet Hofstra since 2017, 2018 with Rokas Goosties out there. What gives tonight on the spread line with Hofstra and the College of Charleston?
You know, you're right, Donnie, because Hofstra is and has been what many people consider to be the best team in the CAA. But usually once we get to tournament time there with the CAA tournament, they usually end up falling short. And, North Carolina, Wilmington usually ends up taking it down. But Charleston's an interesting team this season because 2 of their best players were hurt to start the season. So they just started getting them back. So this is not exactly the same team that they were a month ago. So it's going to be interesting. We saw this with kind of a pick-em price overnight. We're starting to see a little bit more money towards College of Charleston this morning. The home team, listen, home court matters in these CAA games, right? In these mid-majors. And right now, the market having a hard time figuring out, is Hofstra really the best team in the conference? We're going to find that out here tonight. But College of Charleston, they are finally healthy, Donnie, and have their full starting crew ready to go tonight against Hofstra.
The Metro Atlantic, Joe, just re-upped in Atlantic City for the conference tournaments. Let's talk a little Metro Atlantic action tonight. Marist is going to take on Merrimack. Merrimack is the favorite, Joe. -3.5 as it sits this morning at a total of 130.5. Why is that? Marist plays great defense here. How about a 93.3 rating in efficiency on defense here? The best in conference play. They love to defend the three-point line as well, but here's the issue that you might have. Merrimack, the best team in conference play, getting to the free throw line, and Marist fouls at 11th of 13 teams in conference play. Maybe there's a path to the free throw line, but Merrimack at home, Joe, is the favorite by 3.5. What's that spread line here?
The MAC, not the Miami of Ohio MAC, but the the MAAC conference here.
LA.
With Merrimack being very much the best team so far this year. I don't think it's actually close, but that doesn't mean that they are going to run away with anything here because Marist grades out actually better than Merrimack in a lot of metrics here. So this is going to be the best game of the conference and is going to go a long way in deciding who is that best team in this conference here. Right now, I saw Merrimack laying 1 overnight. You just showed it there. Now up to 3.5, even 4. So the Merrimack money is coming in early in this game. But do not be shocked if Marist holds their own. And actually, this is the first big upset of the night here, Donnie, with Marist taking down Merrimack in Merrimack.
Buyer beware tonight in the association. Today's the 12th. The next slate of regular season games on the 19th. Some teams already checked out. They can't wait to get to the holiday, which means they're going to Vegas, Jamaica, or maybe to the French Riviera. We're going to start with the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the OKC Thunder. A 2-touchdown favorite as it sits at some outlets, minus 13 at FanDuel as a favorite towards the home team, OKC. A total in this game, 215.5. Thunder Bucks. Spread line for you, Joe.
So we learned a couple of things over the last couple of days, and there are clearly teams that care about all the games they play, and there are teams that cannot hurry up and finish this fast enough and go away. OKC happens to be one of those that figures they lost enough games here. They've lost 13 on the season, Donnie, and even though they've got backups here and guys that are hurt, namely SGA, they're giving all they have here tonight. I don't trust the Bucks. They just played last night as well. I think the Thunder roll them at home here.
How about this one here? Sometimes it's like you like to get away at All-Star break on a good note here. The Lakers haven't been on a good note. Now they're favored by 7.5 tonight, taking on the Dallas Mavericks. We just told you Cooper Flag is out. Do the Lakers go in with a bad taste in their mouth, or nah, we were checked out a couple games ago. We're staying checked out. We'll see you after the break. What's your spread line here?
Oh, they are checked out, but this will be the game, of course, where LeBron gets to say, see, I told you I motivated everybody. I told you we weren't no, they'll duck the Spurs, but they won't duck the Mavericks. So I imagine that LeBron and company will go out on a winning note tonight.
3 games tonight, a super exciting weekend in NBA action as the All-Star break takes place. And away we go. We won't see basketball again until the 19th of the month. What are we doing here? I know what we're doing. We're going to the Olympics next. Cowboys. Like, they're competitive every year. They're going to win a Super Bowl? No, but at least at the beginning of the season, like, I have aspirations to make a playoff, maybe win the division and see what we can do. For the Raiders, every day, the minute you kick off week number 1, you are out of the playoff picture. You stink and can't perform. That's tough because you don't get a 20-year career as a defensive end typically in the NFL. So your time now is to strike. I have all the money. Now I want to win.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
But curling, you don't need to be like, you know what I mean? You're not building a football team here or a baseball team from scratch. You're tossing some rocks on an ice surface. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, but if you invest some money into it, you can get good at it. Like China's gotten good at it, and like, Japan, and like everybody, there's a lot of really good countries at curling right now.
Winter Games Central, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
They're just unblemished everywhere. They dominate you defensively, and they have offensive balance. They force turnovers and control the glass. Let's put it to you like this. UConn isn't just undefeated. They're a tyrant over the women's basketball landscape. March won't expose them much as they will confirm their invincibility.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
The Olympics, are you enjoying right now? Well, we're waiting for the men to take the ice, which is actually going to take place a little bit later today, where it's like, all right, let's get to the good stuff. USA versus Canada in women's and men's hockey. Team USA for the women's side hammered Canada 5-0. Team USA and Canada. I don't know if they play in group play or stage play. They probably do at this point because there's not a lot of teams like there would be in basketball. And then you'll see in the medal round who's going to get the gold. But let's go over there to Milan Cortino and check in at what exactly is going on the medal count, Joe. 13 for Norway, 13 for Italy. And here comes the United States ramping up the board with 12 total medals.
Gotta love it, right? 4, 6, and 2, Donnie, right?
Yeah,
4 gold, 6 silver,
Not
2
bad.
bronze through what, 5 days of competition here? Not bad at all. And the best, I think, is yet to come, too. I think we still got a few more golds waiting for us here in this one. So 79, in fact, remain. We'll see exactly how many of those 79 the U.S. can get.
Controversy at the Olympics. It's just simple. When you go to the main stage here, sometimes they just ask you. You can do whatever you want, have fun, speak your mind, but don't be political with anything that you wear during the Olympic Games. You can't have a patch. You can't have a commemorative, flag on your shirt or whatever. And what you can't do is have a helmet honoring athletes killed in the war against Russia. It's simple. Just don't be political. Play in the Olympic Games. Go home and be political. Some people can't understand that. And Vyacheslav Hershevik is out of the Olympics because he chose to be political.
I mean, all that time and energy that you put into actually making it to the Olympics is just, and you throw it all out because I don't get it, Donnie. I mean, the Olympics is about the Olympics. It's about the competition there. Plenty of other opportunities to make your stance known, but the Olympics, and they told them, right, ahead of time, this is not the place for it, and now he's out of the Olympics. Unbelievable.
Now he's it. It's like saying, hey, Donnie, you cannot come on this network and wear a blue shirt. And I'd be like, well, I'm going to wear a blue shirt anyway. And then I get sent home. It's like, that's not fair. No, they told me I couldn't do that, but yet I decided to do that at this point here. Let's get over to Canada here, Joe. How about, I'm going to try this here. Piper Gillet and Paul Poirier take home bronze in the ice dance. I don't know if that's how you pronounce their names, but that's how I pronounce them.
I mean, listen, if you watch any of that,
Gillet and Poirier.
That's impressive, actually. They actually are better on skates than I am walking. It's kind of crazy there because I don't think you can do any of that dance with shoes on, much less skates. I am amazed with that. I really, really am on how they do that.
And by the way, taking a look from The Athletic yesterday through the New York Times, American ice dancers Madison Chock and Evan Bates earned silver. Now, that was one of the groups. I thought they were heavily favored to possibly get the gold medal. So you love to get the silver, but knowing if you're heavily favored, man, you wanted the gold. It is a medal. You can't be ashamed of that, but I think their eyes were on the gold, Joe.
Yeah, no, we did. It was, it's always crazy when silver is a letdown, right? But actually, listen, at this point, hammer home as many medals as you possibly can. We do have, of course, some predictive markets and some might be some contracts on that, Donnie, that we have. So we need medals, more medals. That's what we need, Team USA.
How about this? After 118 years, Norway surpassed Sweden in the number of Olympic gold medals won here. You have 7-3 in this Olympics, which the totals over the years, 220 to 219 now. Come on, Sweden. Let's go.
Yeah, look at that, too. And listen, Norway has been an absolute machine over the last couple of decades, right? I mean, they were a favorite once again this Winter Olympics to get all the golds, all the medals. It feels like they've got somebody, 2 or 3 people in every event, Donnie. It's kind of crazy. But, yeah, kudos to both of them. They have dominated the Winter Olympics for years now.
Home ice advantage here, Joe. How about Italy claiming both gold in men's and women's double luge in events in their Olympic debut? How about that? The double luge, by the way. Do you ever see that too? I think they lay like on top of each other. When are we going to get to the point, Joe, we have 4 or 5 people stacked up like a triple cheeseburger here going down there on the luge?
Like, who's driving? Like, my goodness. But kudos to the home nation there getting it done with the medals here, Donnie, aren't they, Italy?
Now, by the way, is it mixed? Like, is it men and women on the same thing, or is it just men separate and women separate? Because I got to tell you, ain't no way the woman is going to lay on the bottom and get crushed by the male on top, right?
No.
It had to be just men's and women's at that point, right?
Yeah, men and women, I believe, yes.
Yeah. How about this next one, Joe? Free Scout skiers Elizabeth Lemley and Jalen Koff go gold and silver in the moguls, man. I'm telling you right now, you
Moguls
need an
is brutal.
ACL, Joe. You need an ACL. You want to do moguls. You ever see that? Jackhammering all the way down the mountain. We're just getting started, people. Come on back. Let's have some fun. Dallas Cowboys. Like, they're competitive every year. They're going to win a Super Bowl? No, but at least at the beginning of the season, like, I have aspirations to make a playoff, maybe win the division and see what we can do. For the Raiders, every day, the minute you kick off week number 1, you are out of the playoff picture. You stink and can't perform. That's tough because you don't get a 20-year career as a defensive end typically in the NFL. So your time now is to strike. I have all the money. Now I want to win.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
But curling, you don't need to be like, you know what I mean? You're not building a football team here or a baseball team from scratch. You're tossing some rocks on an ice surface. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, but if you invest some money into it, you can get good at it. Like China's gotten good at it, and like, you know, Japan, and like everybody, there's a lot of really good countries at curling right now.
Winter Game Central, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
They're just unblemished everywhere. They dominate you defensively, and they have offensive balance. They force turnovers, they control the glass. Let's put it to you like this. UConn isn't just undefeated. They're a tyrant over the women's basketball landscape. March won't expose them much as they will confirm their invincibility.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All-Star Weekend, I know Joe Ranieri's fired up for this one. He's going to stay in the house all weekend long. He's not going out down there on South Beach. He's not partaking in spring training get underway. He wants to see Bay's quarterback Caleb Williams participating in the celebrity three-point contest at All-Star Weekend. By the way, let me ask you a question, Joe. Did they just add this? There's a celebrity three-point contest? Is this the first year of this? I'm hearing about it.
I don't ever remember a celebrity three-point contest. And who is coming to an NBA also looking for celebrities to actually no
shoot threes?
I can't. I can't. And it's a shame too that, you know, they can't get on the same page with the WNBA because they, you know, it would have been great to be able to. They only had that 1 year, right? And that was it. Then they kind of 86'd it, and now it looks like all of that is gone for now. Unreal.
Yeah, exactly. And is he gonna mess up his nails? Like, you can't get that fresh paint on his nails here and be like, you know what, I can't shoot 3-point shots here at the competition here this weekend. We'll see. But I actually would rather see maybe the 3-point shot from the celebrities than actually the pros themselves. I don't know. They're just trying to add things in. By the way, like, I don't know if we have this on our list right now, but did you see, Joe, NBA All-Star Weekend, their big idea is let's let in over 200 plus influencers just to do media content. That's how you know your product stinks, Joe. How about that?
Yeah, well, and listen, is Adam Silver really the guy here? It feels like he's got no interest in correcting any of these issues that the NBA is going through. It feels like all of them, the product is getting worse. The All-Star game is now to the point where people are just like, end it. Like, just give these guys a week off, and that's it. Why bother wasting time? I mean, that's how bad it is under Adam Silver. At least we didn't have these issues with David Stern.
We didn't have those issues, David Stern. Actually played. The All-Star game was fun, and away we go. We accepted it for what it is, but again, the players tell you everything with the way they play. They don't care about it. Why should we as a fan base here?
Yep.
Now, one thing that you do know about professional sports, when you are under contract and the team is like, all right, you can go try to get a trade and we'll move you if you can find a trade, where you have no value around the league, where your team goes, oh, you couldn't find a trade? All right, here's your pink slip anyway. Just get out of town. The Spurs and forward Jeremy Sohan have agreed on Sohan's release, allowing him to become a free agent. No, Joe, in the NBA, trash for trash gets traded all the time. And you're so trash as a player, you actually can't even find a team that's like, we'll give you a late second-round pick, which is basically no pick at all. That's pretty good stuff.
That's kind of crazy because, this guy, he's not that far removed, Donnie, from having been actually, part of this young upcoming crew
player
that they had there. Legit player. And I don't know what happened to him, man. My goodness. Now, I guess what? The G League, or, somebody who needs bodies will pick him up because, let's fit. Washington, why not? Well, everybody seems to get dumped in Washington these days. They never seem to play, but they always seem to get traded there.
They do. How about the Suns here? Did the books miss this one? The Suns are now 32-22 on the season and hit their over from their preseason win total before the All-Star break. How about that? The Valley of the Sun rallying out there.
Yeah. And the way they approached that game last night, you would have thought that was the last game of the season, Donnie. And okay, congrats. We got over our win total. Now we can take off and stop playing. Because I don't get it. Yes, they have overachieved, but my goodness, how much longer is that going to last here, Donnie? Are they really a player out in the West? I don't know. I don't know.
Probably not. But let's take a look at the Philadelphia 76ers. There was talk around the city when Joel Embiid was on this absolute smoking hot streak over the past, let's just call it 3 weeks, back to his MVP form. Trade deadline coming up. Can you move him for something to get out in front of that contract? Because sooner than later, knee issues are going to pop up. Now, we never are granted exact access on what's going on with Joel Embiid's knee. Is he fine? Are they lying? Because the NBA never tells you the truth. But how about this Yahoo Sports report? Embiid is out tonight versus the Knicks, which was last night, which for me, the handicap was, hey, Sixers now a favorite. They're going to play all their starters. Knicks won't play any starters, and you go into the break. Well, Embiid felt like he needed an extra break on top of the week break that he's going to get because he said he felt soreness after Saturday's win over the Suns. We don't know if this is true or not, or if Joel Embiid's like, hey, look, man, my plane's leaving early. I'm not playing tonight. I got to get out of town. The minute this game ends, no shower, I'm on a plane because I want to go to Tahiti. We'll never know, but if he is popping up already as injured, good luck, Sixers. It's a wrap once again on your season.
Yeah, no, I saw him. He looked like a dude who had his bags packed already there at the arena, and he couldn't wait for the game to end so he could leave. He had no interest in he was just going to take an extended break, and that's it. It's disgusting. Being a Sixers fan, Donnie, if I would have paid money to go see Philadelphia go toe-to-toe with, the team they're going to have to beat, right, to advance at some point in the postseason, and that was the product you gave me? Oh, my goodness, unreal.
And by the way, in Philadelphia, it's an interesting thing because the Flyers don't even register on like a Richter scale. Like if we had an earthquake, the Flyers, nobody would notice it because nobody cares. They're just a dead hockey team. They've been dormant for at least a decade. The Philadelphia 76ers are an interesting circumstance here, Joe, in the city because the one thing that we do like is our basketball. But we know when we see a fraud right out of the break, all you have to give is a basketball thrive city, a football thrive city, a reason to believe that something is going to change. And you saw again last night, Knicks fans come to town because the Sixers fans will sell their tickets knowing the Knicks will buy them. But there's apathy for the Sixers. They're 30-24. Nobody believes they can go on a run. And that's the worst place for your franchise to be, which after last night, Joe, 138-89. Correct me again if I'm wrong. The Sixers were home and rested. The Knicks played an overtime game on the road and had to travel to the city. The Sixers took the night off, not the Knicks. There you go.
That's exactly correct, Donnie. The Sixers had no intentions of winning that game or even competing in that game. And that is the scary and sad part of the NBA is that the Sixers basically looked at that game and they put it as a scheduled loss, Donnie. That's it. Just put an L next to it. We're good. We got no intention at home of going ahead. But the Knicks, on the other hand, had every reason not to play their guys. And you know what they did? They said absolutely not. They went in there and embarrassed the Sixers is what they did. And kudos to the Knicks for doing it, by the way, because at least you know moving forward, push comes to shove, you know, Brunson, Cat, say what you want. These guys are going to be there and they're going to be ready to play.
How about, wasn't ready to play last night? The Houston Rockets the night before burned me by winning by 7 points when it needed over 7.5. They actually raised that price yesterday during the day, Joe, 8.5 to 9.5 as a favorite for the Rockets. They lost outright in the rematch. Clippers 105, Rockets 102 last night.
Yep, shocker, Kawhi, right? 27, 12, and 4, I believe, is what he had last night. And once again, Clippers, and he keeps telling everyone, and the Clippers keep saying, do not count us out. We're not rolling over here. And they didn't. If Kawhi Leonard is playing on the second of a back-to-back, what excuse do the Suns and the Sixers have exactly here? The answer is none.
Sit back, relax, and have some fun. And maybe that's what the Milwaukee Bucks are going to do tonight. They're 13-point underdogs against OKC in OKC. The last game before the All-Star break comes up. 215.5 is the total, which is criminally low, which means are the Bucks even going to show up and get close to 100 points for themselves, Joe?
Well, they won last night. They beat Orlando, so now they got to travel to OKC to finish. Yeah, I would imagine there's going to be a lot of, not a lot of defense, probably a whole lot of points by OKC at home, who I promise you in front of their fans will not roll over and have a scheduled loss here tonight.
See what happens there. Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers a little bit later tonight, 10 o'clock start. The final game before the All-Star break in the NBA for this weekend. A 7.5-point favorite for the Lakers here at 234.5 total. As you know, Dallas doesn't have their superstar Cooper Flag. We'll see if LeBron gets back out there. And then away we go, Joe, into the All-Star break.
Yeah. And where's Doncic been for the last week? Oh, that's right. Got a hamstring injury. Yeah. Does Reeves play this game too, or are we all of a sudden now injury management? When did injury management become a legit reason to miss anything, Donnie?
Yeah, if you're not injured, how do you manage an injury? You're just saying, okay, eventually I'm going to get injured. I'll take the night off. Doesn't make any sense. Just the NBA makes it up as they go along. Back to the Olympics. Ice hockey takes center stage next. Cowboys. Like, they're competitive every year. They're going to win a Super Bowl? No, but at least at the beginning of the season, like, I have aspirations to make a playoff, maybe win the division and see what we can do. For the Raiders, every day, the minute you kick off week number 1, you are out of the playoff picture. You stink and can't perform. That's tough because you don't get a 20-year career as a defensive end typically in the NFL. So your time now is to strike. I have all the money. Now I want to win.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
But curling, you don't need to be like, You're not building a football team here or a baseball team from scratch. You're tossing some rocks on a nice surface. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, but if you invest some money into it, you can get good at it. Like China's gotten good at it, and Japan, and everybody. There's a lot of really good countries at curling right now.
Winter Games Central, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
They're just unblemished everywhere. They dominate you defensively, and they have offensive balance. They force turnovers and control the glass. Let's put it to you like this. UConn isn't just undefeated. They're a tyrant over the women's basketball landscape. March won't expose them much as they will confirm their invincibility.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Winter Olympics style here, ice hockey. We've watched the women play so far, and Team USA far and away the best team so far at the Olympics. Now, the men are starting to take the ice here, and later today, we'll have Team Canada in the game and also Team USA, both playing separately. We'll get to those in just a few minutes. But yesterday on the ice, Slovakia, 4-1 victory over Finland, and then the Swedes, a 5-2 victory over Italy, which saw this game, I believe, 2-2 at one point, as the heavy favorite Swedes on the puck line were -5.5 for this game. Sweden does pick up the victory, but Italy showing a little fight there, Joe.
Yeah, a lot of fight for the home nation, right? Yesterday, a lot of fight that people didn't think they were going to see, but yeah, it was they kind of punched back there, Donnie. I was impressed, which should probably just go to tell us, right, that none of this is going to be easy when you get to the Olympics at this point. So even Italy, who you don't associate with ice hockey in a whole lot of ways, boy, they showed up last night. Final score aside, that game was pretty close for a while.
Frozen vulcanized rubber, the pucks here, Joe. They don't feel too good. They say, you know what, if I'm a goalie, I'd hit a couple saves a game here. How about 60 shots yesterday by Sweden, which was an NHL error record here. Finland and Canada both held the previous record at 57. My man was taking bullets there as a goalie.
Yeah, big time. 16, and you got to give him credit, right? Hung in there, man. Just sat there and was, wow. It just felt like, the guy in the goal where everyone's lining up at the blue line and just peppering shots at you one after the other pregame. That's kind of what it looked like in that game yesterday.
Joe, a lot of times in the NFL, I get angry at some of the concepts of the uniforms that they bring to us. Like, dude, your throwbacks are fantastic. We have this stupid new remake that you only wear your throwbacks 2 or 3 times a year. Check out Finland's uniforms here. I mean, Nike swoosh right there. Beautiful color scheme. You got the little, it looks like a lion dragon with a king's, crown on at this point. And that's the dagger in a hand. I'm telling you right now, if an NHL team just made up their concept of, we're going to be the Kings, or like at the LA Kings, that was their uniform,
right.
Sell out in minutes, man. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, too bad the uniforms didn't. The uniforms were better than the way Finland played actually yesterday, so it didn't help them actually get upset in that match yesterday. So kudos to Finland there. But I got to tell you, I love the coloring. And can we get any of these, Donnie? By the way, are they available on the line? Because I got Team USA's, and I was wondering if any of the other nations. Have you seen any of them?
I haven't seen it, but I did see somebody upset they couldn't get the German one here, which looks fantastic. There are some really good color schemes and concepts that they have put together. Then sometimes, Joe, you look at the NHL and be like, why aren't we just getting these beautiful uniforms in the NHL on a night-to-night basis? Well, we'll never know at this point. Like the Rangers jersey, ugly as hell. It's been that way for 70 years. Get rid of it here. Redesign it. I mean, my God. By the way, let's take a look at Team USA playing today on the ice. Finally, Joe, as an absolute monster favorite of -3,000. Puck line, -1.5. Total listed at 6.5 going against Latvia here, Joe. Did you know you could take anytime goal scorer props here? Austin Matthews, Brady Tkachuk, Jack Eichel, Matthew Tkachuk here, Tage Thompson. Any eyeballs on this game, Joe? Should U.S. win easily? Should we be going over? And maybe just pick out somebody who's going to score a goal.
Yeah, I think a message needs to be sent, right? And I think that's exactly what they're going to play like. I don't see Team USA taking their foot off the gas at all in this Olympics. I think if they can beat you by 5 goals, Donnie, they're going to beat you by 5 goals, and they're not going to apologize for it. Just like, by the way, the women are doing.
Yes, just like the women here. But again, Team USA, women's hockey, very good. Team Canada hockey, pretty good. We'll see if they match up in the gold medal, silver medal. Be a huge upset if those two teams don't meet. Same thing on the men's side. Team USA and Canada for the gold medal. That's what we want to watch. That's what the ratings will produce. And Team Canada is going to open up their competition today as well, along with Team USA. They also are a heavy favorite in their game today, Joe. So as you flip it over and say to yourself, hey, which way do I want to go in this one? You say, all right, well, you can line it up and say, I want to take a puck line at -1.5. I want to take the -630 favorite on the money line, which does include, Joe, we just talked about U.S., -3,000, a 6.5 total as well. How are we feeling about Team Canada opening up today?
Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Cale McCarr. Yeah, no, they're going to score some goals in this one too, Donnie. There are going to be some goals scored here. I would not be sweating out unders in any of these games associated with Team Canada or Team USA at this point early on. Absolutely not.
By the way, Joe, do you see me trying to string it out so the boys in the back would put the graphic up so I knew exactly what the numbers were, but the boys never put the graphic up. But as a pro, I went back to the book, got the numbers for the people, delivered it to you, Joe, and away we went.
Yes.
So let's get after it now at this point. Anytime goal scorer right now. Nathan McKinnon plus 130. And by the way, you read the U.S. guys, they're really good, but you read the Canada guys, McKinnon, McDavid, Reinhart, Crosby, Pasternak, Celebrini. I mean, just put them in a hat, pick one out.
You got Hall of Famers like on the third and fourth line. Like you've got to be. Yeah. It's absurd how good the names are in Team Canada here. But again, listen, it's ultimately it's going to be Team USA or Team Canada, right? Although we did see an upset yesterday with Finland already, so anything is possible, I guess. But you'd be hard pressed to bet against either of those two teams early on here in the group stage.
Yeah, again, it's going to be fun to watch. You want that pride, and these teams hate each other. They love to represent their country, both of them. There's a lot of pride at stake in here, and then they'll go back to the NHL and try to win a Stanley Cup. But we're going to get some really good hockey over the next 2 weeks at this point, which still has Team Canada, Joe, as the favorite to win Olympic gold at minus 105, Team USA plus 200, followed by Sweden, Finland, Czechia, and Switzerland at this point right now.
Yeah, and there's no ties, too, right, Donnie? We should know. Yeah. And obviously... total goals, total points, all those things matter early on in case there is any sort of tiebreaker needed. So expect teams to keep their foot on the gas here, especially early on.
How about Finland and Canada, women's ice hockey? I believe that's 8:30 a.m. So coming up in roughly 40 minutes, minus 4,500. My goodness, dude, just take the puck line. Minus 1.5, why not?
At this point, absolutely. Yeah. Jeez. I mean, we know what that one's going to be destined to be too as well. But my goodness, good luck when you face Team USA at this point. Oof.
As high as can be. And the Olympics are going on right now, but I saw a couple Phillies bullpen pitchers throwing that gas yesterday from down in Clearwater. Talk some baseball next. Heat it up a bit.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
I don't think he was trying to take a shot at the team at all. It was just a plain and simple and obvious fact.
I think what's difficult, though, is, and I agree with you, right? I guess I agree with LeBron. The assessment of it all, it's why the Lakers organization seems to be comfortable with that truth, unless they disagree. But again, I don't really know how you disagree.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You knew you were facing a Mike McDonald defense that disguises everything, and that was your game plan, to play scared. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I love the guy. He played that game, Donnie, like it was a preseason scrimmage in August and not the Super Bowl.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We knew this was coming at some point, but did you think he was going for Kristaps Porzingis? It's almost like they thought they were going to get it on Giannis. They didn't get Giannis, so they went to Porzingis. Now, Porzingis is a stretch five if he's healthy. Rim protection, block shots, three-point shooting, helps Golden State.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Yankees look to be a player in Major League Baseball this season, as they do each and every season. Maybe coming into the season, hopefully a little bit more healthier than they have in the past, and swinging away, and Aaron Judge and all the boys, and Garrett Cole back in the fold. But here we have some tape here on Booney talking about IKF with his Isaiah Kiner Falefa. I think the Blue Jays would rather have played them last year than the Red Sox. Ooh, rivalry. Let's hear it.
IKF told Red Sox reporters that the Blue Jays were hoping to see you guys in the playoffs last year because they thought you were an easier matchup. How do you feel about that?
Well, I guess he was right. A little surprising to hear IKF say that, but whatever, that's fine. I mean,
does it bother you at all?
Not really, honestly. I mean, you got to play who you play and whatever.
By the way, Yankees have high expectations, but also, like, if you wanted to get on your good side of your fans, like, you would have fired Boone last year and had a new guy saying that, and the Yankees fans would have been all fired up, ready to go this year. They really would have been.
Yeah, but again, it's Booney is he's a staple there now, and quite honestly, do you really the devil you know better than the devil you don't? Yeah. And I don't know. Some no-name guy and some bench manager, something like, it's just not going to work in New York. You need a very specific guy if that's going to happen. Maybe Mattingly was the only guy I've ever said that would be the perfect fit for the Yankee manager role, but doesn't appear like they want that to happen anytime soon.
Not the brightest bulb. Here's Jazz Chisholm talking about Yankees running it back this year.
I feel like this is what this team was built for last year. Like, we're running it back because at the halfway point, we thought we built a team that was going to go to the World Series, and we still believe that wholeheartedly. So for me, I don't see a problem with running it back with 4 MVPs on your team,
That's Jazz right there. By the way, I always like to equate things of how I bet. Like, if I have an RBI prop, all right, let's just say a player to score on third base with one out and Jazz Chisholm's up, I'm like, I can't believe this is happening here. But I would just take Jazz Chisholm in home run props because he has no game plan at the plate whatsoever, but hit this ball as hard as I can, regardless of who's on base or what the situation is, Joe. He's a tough bet at times.
Yeah, he really is. It's a very tough bet. And listen, unfortunately for the Yankees, they're running it back, but they're running it back. So what are we doing again? Is it home run or bust running it back? What exactly are we doing? Are you going to be able to, did you learn anything by watching Toronto manufacture runs? Or is it always just home run or bust here? I can't wait to see this version of running it back.
Let's run it back here. Here's what's going to happen, Joe. As you said, a lot of home runs, horrendous base running, fans blaming Boone, and then yelling at Volpe because he booted his 16th error already in the month of April at this point as we go. So get ready, Yankees fans. I already just told your future right here. How about the future of Miles Michaelis, who I actually like? He's going here to Washington, which means I'll be fading a lot more Washington Nationals games this year. I love to see this, man. That guy's a sieve out there. Gas can city, baby.
A lot of overs in those games, Donnie, is what we're going to be looking at. Yes, Miles, especially early on in the season. So, yeah, be looking forward to that, too. They should just put a money sign over him there on that picture.
How about you ever thought of the Jeremy Shohan of the Major League Baseball experience? Yeah, it's the Castellanos. Hey, buddy, don't show up. I know you make about $20 million. Nobody around the league wants you. We don't want you. Maybe we can fire sale you, but hey, stay home. Don't bother coming to work.
Yeah. What is that? That tells you everything you need to know about how that relationship is going, Donnie. Yeah, and don't see it getting in any better anytime soon either.
Swimmingly in Philadelphia. Let's get after it. How about Corbin Carroll? Hammock bone again. Reaches up and grabs somebody. He's going to miss the World Baseball Classic and possibly opening day. Love Corbin Carroll, man. That guy's a machine.
I don't get it. I mean, Lindor, Corbin Carroll, Jackson Holiday of the Orioles, another guy. Like, when did this become a thing, the Hammett bone, and why now? I don't get it. I really don't. Very strange here in Major League Baseball.
That Super Bowl just ended. People like to have wings, ribs, and pizza here. You know who even likes a rib even more? Zach Wheeler. Held on to his rib as a keepsake. Said he had a rib removed during thoracic outlet surgery, which is actually going to miss opening day, I believe, still, and kept it in the closet at his house. Freaky.
Yeah, I mean, put it on the mantle, man. You know, I mean, I don't know what that's. Don't hide it. You know, share it at that point. Get that thing up on the above the fireplace. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, getting excited for hour number 2. It's coming up next. It's a Thursday. The NBA's going away. Hockey is on hiatus, but not Joe Ranieri or Donnie Rightside. See ya.